Hi there. Welcome to today's edition of Market Call here on BNN Bloomberg. I'm Paul Bagnall. Our guest is Gordon Reid. He's president and CEO of Goodreid Investment Counsel. He'll take your questions as on U.S. stocks. So pick up your phone and give us a call. The number to reach us at is 1-855-326-6266. Send us an email at marketcall@bnnbloomberg.ca. That's another way to get a question in. We'll get your questions to Gordon in the second segment of our show. In the meantime, let's welcome Gordon to the show and get his take on markets. Great to see you as always, Gordon.
Thank you, Paul.
What is your take on markets as we begin the year of 2025 after two extremely strong years in the past?
Exactly. Nice to have very nice years. I mean, everybody is in this to grow their portfolios, to do well. But there's a cost to everything, isn't there? As prices go up, value tends to drop, and that's exactly what we've seen. We're slightly overvalued in terms of PE ratios against historical levels. And I think 2025 is a year that offers opportunity, but we have to be realistic. We have to make sure that we are grounded in our stock choices, that we're in a kind of a risk-off type of mentality. I think that those who have benefited from the momentum plays of 23 and 24 should be quite careful. There's a lot of air under those stock prices, and unlike quality companies that are well valued against their historical norms, there's not that grounding. There's not that valuation floor that one relies on when markets get scared.
You're talking about the big tech stocks, are you?
Some of them,
regard?
Yeah. There's some big tech stocks. There's a variety in different industries. In the GLP-1 area of the drug industry, there's some extended companies. So you just have to do your work, and it's a fun environment for people in my business because it's pure stock picking. It's built on factor analysis, what's going to drive the market. Momentum has been a big part of what's propelled the market in the past couple of years. Those magnificent seven that we hear of nonstop contributed over half of the S&P 500 returns in 2024. For us, earnings growth, positive earnings revisions, quality balance sheets, strong moats to their businesses, all very important, and those are the types of companies that we're looking for.
Will the rotation into smaller cap stocks, which began in a halting way in 2024, continue in 2025?
We believe so. Our U.S. small cap portfolio at Goodreid had another very, very fine year. We doubled the return of the Russell 2000 in 2024. So we were very, very pleased with that. But we think that there's a long way to go in that area. The valuations are quite a bit lower than what we see in the big cap S&P 500. In fact, not only lower in absolute terms, but lower relative to their historical norms. So we think there's lots of opportunity there. And a lot of it is built on the fact that smaller companies are more domestically based, so they don't face the huge headwinds of a strong U.S. dollar.
Right.
They don't face a lot of the headwinds of the regulatory environment. It's a positive environment. So there's a lot going for small caps, and I haven't mentioned tax. Corporate tax policy will be most beneficial to domestically based companies, and they reside primarily, or more, I shouldn't say primarily, there's a greater percentage of domestically based companies in the small cap space than in the large cap space.
That's Gordon Reid and his early take on the markets. We'll be back with Gordon after this. He, of course, is president and CEO of Goodreid Investment Counsel. He'll start taking your questions on U.S. stocks right after this. Here's the contact information: 1-855-326-6266 or marketcall@bnnbloomberg.ca.